Any excuse I get to use that old video. I can't help myself. I was thinking earlier, like, is this even a Fed Dead Redemption? And I was like, yeah, but I have to play the video, so I'm going to call it a Fed Dead Redemption. So, all right, folks, we're back. It's been a while, especially for a certain member of our panel here tonight. We have serious business to handle, fellas. CM Punk is injured, and we have a WrestleMania card to book. So, um, quite the evening ahead. Jack Crosby, I'll get right to it, brother. It's been too long, right? You're finally back on the grin. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? I miss you guys. I miss this.
Yeah, we miss you, brother. It's been, I mean, obviously because the shows are more sporadic now. Like if our schedules don't match up, the next thing it'll be like 3 weeks, and it's like, whoa, we haven't done this in a while. Back in the day, it would just be like, well, we'll do it tomorrow. But
we really changed. Did. Yeah.
There was that stretch. There was it was the pay-per-view where Punk and Hangman worked, which went great, by the way. Double or Nothing. And Jack was on every episode of The Burt that week, I think, which was the one that was like 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern. And like Jack and I were having these like daily counseling sessions where we try to convince each other this feud was weird, like not weird.
Yeah, because I take a week vacation at work every year around my birthday, which is May 31st. Yeah, so I spent my whole week just on the Burt with you at like 10 o'clock every morning.
Yeah, and every day we'd like catch back up with each other and be like, so this feud's weird, right? If only we knew, brother.
I don't think these guys like each other.
Yeah, I think that one aged interestingly, but nonetheless, speaking of things that have aged interestingly, Bob, you're here again tonight.
Yeah,
how are you, mate?
I'm doing well. Nice to be back. We have a WrestleMania to build to, man. It's the road to WrestleMania, so let's do it.
We do, and I would like to note too. This is important. We have got like DM insight from Contrarian Alex. He couldn't join us tonight, but he sent like some matchmaking, some of which appeared to be very funny from my cursory glance. So we got that. So we have a fifth man on the panel. We need to split some decisions here. So we got that to look forward to. Lord Oracle, how are you, mate?
I'm well. I'm glad to do this deep dive here. I've got the roster pulled up, ready to mix and match and try to figure this thing 67 days out, right?
Yeah, we got some work to do, brother.
Some big changes have occurred in the last few days to
67 days.
Yeah.
I was watching Raw last night, and I swear to God, it pops me every fucking year, and they've been doing it for so long. Like when they run the video package and they're like, WrestleMania 84 days away. It's like, all right, maybe you could just chill on the fucking countdown. Yeah. It's a long fucking time away. Maybe you just maybe start doing it when we get to 30 days.
I'm tired of the weekend singing every damn Mania song, man.
Yeah. It is a little much. Yeah.
It's getting old.
And I like the dude, but the weekend 5 years in a row now.
Yeah,
can we call someone else?
The first 2 years are good because I like those songs.
Yeah, and also, them, for WWE, yeah, I agree. Like initially, it was cool because for WWE, especially, the weekend was like a crazy current artist for them to have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but 5 straight years is a little aggressive for any artist.
Remember, we used to make jokes about Flow Rider, but Jesus. This is another level.
Bro, the Flow Rider era was crazy, though.
Yeah, but he didn't do 5 in a row.
He did. How many did he do, though?
2 or 3. Like 2 or 3, but they were all spread out, I think.
He did Greenlight, My House.
Greenlight, My House. I think that was it. He might have only done 2, and we were cracking jokes.
Yeah, 32 and 33, I think. That was it.
Didn't he do the Dwayne Cena one?
Yes, he did. He did 28, yeah.
There's a gap there, though. You're right.
He actually performed live for Dwayne at 28.
Oh, my God. Live Flow Rider performance. My goodness.
Who was it? Skylar Grey was for the Machine Gun Kelly, right?
So yes. Yeah. It does rule that the Weeknd has done all these manias and has never performed live. Beast.
Greenlight was Pitbull, wasn't it? Greenlight was Pitbull.
Of course it was. Sorry, I confused very unfortunate pop artists. All right.
Wait a minute, though. Wait a minute.
Cody has resubscribed. He's been with us for 18 months. Cody, this is the kind of content.
No, I knew it. Yeah, but Flow Rider is on the track.
Okay, good. I was thinking.
Okay.
I knew
Okay.
he was on the
Yeah.
so he's on green light too.
Okay. All right, so
Okay.
thanks to Cody for resubscribing. This is the content that you keep coming back for, me. I hope we're doing you proud here. Okay. So as you can tell, this is, we're having some fun here to start with because we all know what's ahead of us. This is not going to be fun. We're going to have some real serious conversations here about
Everyone's
WrestleMania cards and stuff. We're going to, by the end of this show, we're not going to just have a card. We're going to have night 1 and night 2. We're going to have this thing figured out, and we'll be able to look back in 2 months and see how right or wrong we were. Time will tell in that regard. We'll try our best nonetheless. So I think it's only logical and only right that we start with the things we can be confident about, right? I think that makes the most sense. So
Am I back?
You're back, yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
this will probably happen some tonight. So just
that's fine. That's fine. We got the 4-man panel tonight. We'll be okay. So I think it makes sense we start with what we're confident about. The question is, are we still confident about Cody versus Roman?
Yes,
I think
and
we
if
are.
any of you
right?
guys
Yeah.
say no, I
Yeah.
swear to God, I'm leaving. I'm gonna end.
yes, that's
Yeah.
it. I mentioned it before we got on there. I actually thought the segment was really good with Seth and Cody because I liked the idea. I appreciated it because it creates some sort of, I appreciate the idea behind it, but it's Cody and Roman.
Like last night's segment, really quick, because I watched Raw last night, and I know I cracked my joke. Well, it wasn't so much a joke. Like I wanted Seth. I was like, fuck, don't even try this. Like, fuck off. I don't want to see you. But I get it in the sense that, because like that was not originally planned for Raw, because Cody would not have turned to Roman on Saturday and said, you, only you. They didn't know Punk was that hurt.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that, the locked in plan was Seth and Punk, and they don't know what to do with Seth right now. Like, they have no clue what to do. So they were kind of like, all right, well, here's what we do. Like, you're a champion, so just like go screw around with Cody for a week or two until we figure this out.
Well, to your point, Jack, the word was last night that, the plan for Raw supposedly was Punk, Sammy, Drew segment, and that was going to be 3 of the guys in the chamber, right? And Punk was going to go to Perth, win the Elimination Chamber. So the talk when the Punk news broke was, what's going to be our direction for Chamber? And unless I'm mistaken, you guys watched the show, there was not one, right? In terms of the men's, they just left it vague and did some like maintenance booking, basically. So that speaks to the point. Yeah. So that's going to be, the kind of, it's a crazy situation, man.
Like we'll get to it. I think what to do with Seth is a no-brainer, but
we'll get there. We'll get there. I think that will be the centerpiece of this.
No, I just saw a lot of people still mad about it, but I get it. Like why they would send Seth out there to do that with Cody.
Yeah. I only saw bits of the segment, but I kind of understood what they were going for, and it looked like Seth delivered it. Like,
it was good.
Seriously,
he did a good job.
He did a good job.
So Cody and Roman is not only one we're confident of, but we can also lock it in for night 2, right? It's one we can actually like put on the board. That is a night 2 main event match, the night 2 main event match,
overall main event of the weekend.
Yeah, and that's obviously a huge match, and one that even with a kind of weird run of form for Roman, I think it's hard to be anything but confident in that match, because the first match was terrific. The second one should be the same, right? Even with Roman kind of, I think it's fair to say he's cooled off quite dramatically as of late with kind of his latest defenses. So, okay, Cody and Roman, we're all confident of. I think we're all happy to see it, and we're all very expectant of a finishing of a certain story. So that's fine. We can lock that in. Okay. What are our other matches? Bob, I'll start with you. Try and throw one my way if you have one on your mind that you would say you are confident of.
I would probably put Becky and Rhea right now. It seems like we're doing Nia and Rhea in Elimination Chamber, and then Becky will probably win the Elimination Chamber there to qualify, I would imagine, and they'll get to that. I think you can put it night 1. I don't know for sure if it's going to main event. I think it's got a real good chance to main event. But yeah, I'm confident in the match happening.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're all on board with that being the match, right? I think that's kind of, So Becky and Rhea, I think on star power, night 1 is going to need it more, right? Because night 1 has just took a substantial blow with the Punk thing. So All right, we can pencil that in for night one. Now, there has been a lot of Bayley and EO buzz in terms of taking the night one main event, but I just feel like if one of the women's matches is main eventing, it's Becky and Rhea, right? It just feels like that's the one. Okay, all right. Where's the excitement? I think we're all pretty excited for Becky and Rhea, right? It seems
Very
like
much so.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna be physical.
yeah, for
They're
sure.
They're gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
they are.
I'm pretty excited. And the promo segment they did last month, or earlier this month, I guess, was like pretty promising too in terms of the way they were trying to tell that story. I think.
with like Becky's promo where she's not sure that she's as good as Rhea. That was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a money match. So far so good. Speaking of Bayley and EO, Jack, what was that match? Sorry, it's away with you.
It's okay to talk about results of the match here, right? Or we just looking
absolutely, yeah.
I just wanted to gauge your guys' interest. Rhea wins, right? I would have Rhea win.
I would have Rhea win.
I would have Rhea win and keep this going for like build up that resume a little bit. Yeah. And I understand the criticism that she hasn't defended the title a lot, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
But then you put her in a match like this, have her beat Becky. Just have her keep going.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think Becky probably will win.
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
I would lean Rhea and circle back to this. This would be my end game. I think Bianca and Rhea would be the match.
I also don't think you have to wait till the next Mania. I think you could do a Rhea, it'd be nice if I could do a Rhea Bianca match at SummerSlam, right?
Yeah. I agree with you, Oracle. Only counterpoint would be, because this is perfect, because I was going to say, because Rhea is so fucking popular.
Yeah.
Like those, if you could keep that going for another year to 41, I would try to save it for 41.
Yeah.
If you could. Like, obviously, but that's where you have this leeway. Like, if you feel by SummerSlam that she's maybe cooling down a little bit, then you have that leash to, okay, let's do it now. But if you feel that you're like, okay, maybe we could take this until next April and then do Rhea Bianca, which depends how things shake out. But eventually people are going to look for the women to main event night 2. Eventually night 1's not going to be good enough.
Right.
They're going to say, okay, now when are we going to get back to them being the last match on the whole show? I think those two right now on this roster have the opportunity, if done correctly, to fulfill that position.
Yeah, I agree.
Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair.
If you
play up their history for the last 3-4 years, you can
been
do
linked, it. Yeah, they've always kind of felt like they're on parallel paths in a lot of ways. The one scenario in which I think Rhea losing would actually be kind of, you could do something with. Oracle, you pitched something about 6 months ago, which means
last year.
Yeah, it feels like a very, very long time ago, but it was last year.
Yeah.
And you pitched the Rhea
babyface
dumps Dom angle. And the idea of Rhea Ripley losing to Becky Lynch and Dom like big timing her, and the people being like, finally she's gonna kill him, and then Rhea, dumps Dom and headbutts him or whatever, I think could be like the idea of it being sparked by Dom being like, "What, you lost?"
Yeah,
kind of lame,
Yeah.
And then the people,
exactly.
so
He's
ready.
like, you've been browbeating me, like
yes. I think there's something to that. And then you could do. I talked about this with someone on the LNG Discord a while ago. That would also be a great way to bring someone into the picture. As you mentioned it before, Oracle, was like Dom's new girlfriend or whatever, and he has someone new come in to go after Rhea.
It could be somebody like Tiffany Stratton or something.
Yeah, there's some options.
That would be a good way to get one of the NXT girls up. That would be because they could feed off Dom's heat. That would be really fucking good.
If anything, honestly, you could give it to someone who's less prepared than Tiff, who needs it more. Almost,
Rhea's a big enough star. You could have that be an actual titleless women's
main story. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's like it's the same thought process of putting Braun Strowman with the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
Like you had this dude down there doing nothing, but you knew something was there, so you just stuck him with them.
Yeah. It's like you inherit all of that heat and story.
Yeah.
It's money. Yeah,
I like that a lot. Oracle, you came up with that.
He's very good.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
I do like that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's money. So there's some kind of scenarios I think you could leave. Oh my God, wait, Lola Vice in this role that would be the funniest thing ever. Could you imagine that dynamic with Dom? That's money. Okay, so Becky and Rhea will pencil in for night one. I do need to know. Don't have an app brought up. Are we any temptation? Are we any kind of thrown off at all about the Liv Morgan element here?
I bought into that more around Christmas time. I feel like it's less so because they keep teasing the Becky thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Liv really needs to be built up. I mean, she's over, but I think it's a pretty weak match.
I think Liv has earned a prominent WrestleMania match. It's just that with the pieces in place, it's just not this year.
Yeah. As of right now, it feels more like a, like not a B show match, but not a WrestleMania match. Does that make sense? Like it's in the middle there somewhere. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know, Liv's a hardened criminal. I don't know if you can trust her.
Right.
Yeah, they've never thrived in pro wrestling. Good call. All right, Becky and Rhea. Okay. I think we can be very confident with Bayley and EO. Right?
Yep.
I think we could be very confident. Yes. Bayley and EO is pretty much a lock.
I would, I'd consider it for the night one main event. I would I would put it in the conversation, and I know people don't like to think like this. Bayley's earned it.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't know.
Especially like, what are the chances that this feud carries into her, like coming out to the old music and everything? Because if she comes out to that old song and the Bayley buddies and shit, you're not going to get few people are going to get a bigger reaction that weekend.
I agree. That's a big one. I don't know. There's a stumbling block for me where it's like, I think it makes sense based on the ratings. God forbid we do that conversation. The damage control thing is like connecting and getting over.
Yeah.
But there is a hurdle that I am struggling to overcome in terms of it as main event. Like I agree with everything you just said, Jack, but it just doesn't feel quite right. I don't know.
Yeah, and I get it. I get it too. I was just saying, like, I guess it's one of those situations where they would probably do Becky Rhea, but I understand it if they want to talk about having Bayley get that spot.
I think for me, it's like, I think the best version of that match is reliant on a particular kind of crowd. I would actually be tempted to put that on pretty early in one of these shows, because to me, it's like, that's the magic, right? For a Bayley babyface turn. It's like, not to say she can't go. Bayley had a good performance in the Rumble on Saturday, but it's like, the magic is the people being able to cheer again. So I'd put it on earlier on night 2 personally. Bob, where do you stand on this matter?
Yeah, I think in the early part of night 2 is actually a really good spot for it. Again, I could see it main eventing night 1. It's been one of the best stories that they've told over the past year. It's nothing wrong. I think Rhea and Becky just have slightly more, juice to it, star power, whatever you want to call it. And, I think night 2 is a really good spot for it. Yeah.
Oracle, you agree, mate?
Yeah. I think so. I think this is definitely, I think it fits a little bit better as a first half of the show, night 2 as well. And again, this is a feud that's shown to be popular with the audience. It just doesn't feel quite as magnanimous, I guess, as Rhea Becky does in terms of comparing the two. But I don't think it would be totally out of place for it to main event either.
Yeah, I agree, and it is worth noting that, like, if they announce tomorrow it's main event, I don't think any of us would be canceling our subscription. I'd be fine. Like, we're just kind of, comparing here. So, all right, works for me. Oracle, is there another match that you would say you are confident of on WrestleMania?
No.
Really?
Oh, there's one. As far
Jackie,
as there's no.
go for it.
Yeah, throw it out there. Oh yeah. Okay.
And
Logan Paul.
yeah, come
Okay.
on, that's the only that's the only one. Like now it's hard, but that's the only one. Yeah, that's happening. And
I think that I don't know, Jackie. I'm not sure. I think Logan may find himself in a multi-man ladder thing.
With LA Knight winning.
Yeah, I've just got a feeling because there are a couple fellas on SmackDown that I think are going to be left without a dance partner unless there's one of those matches, you know? We'll circle back to this. The match I'm confident of is Jim and Jay, Usos, Civil War.
Yeah.
That
Or they
feels
did
like a
this
lock,
for the
right?
first.
Look, brother.
Dude,
Jey
I was
Uso.
watching that shit with my brother and sister-in-law, and my sister-in-law was like bursting out laughing at like their facial expressions at each other, where they're like gritting their teeth, and she
It's
was
very
telling
funny.
Dustin and I to like grit our teeth at each other.
So Jimmy Uso has fell short of Jay in pretty much every category since they became singles. However, I'm here to present my case that he, in fact, won their personal duel on Saturday because Jey Uso may have had the least eventful Iron Man display in the history of Royal Rumble matches.
He did nothing.
And at least Jimmy did his shtick. You know, the shtick where he was trying to make friends with him was at least kind of fun and cute. Like, I don't know. I thought he won that particular battle for the first time. So, how good will an Usos match be? I don't know.
I think it could be. To be honest with you, I think it could be Hardy versus Hardy level bad.
That's
it could be.
The problem with that is people are going to set their expectations so high.
Yeah, which is a mistake.
It's going to be a high bar to clear, man.
Yeah.
I think placement will be huge for that match. Like, if that's an opener, I think the novelty of it may like pop people. You know? Like
I was just going to say, if anything, open.
Yeah, because it's just. Well, obviously, I'm a huge Usos fan, but it's like they're just, it's just a weird, like, how do you actually work that match, Like, it's a weird one. I don't know. Hopefully it goes great. I know that's been, like, their dream match forever, so hopefully it goes well. We'll see, but I think it's on the card, right? It feels that way. It feels that way to me. Okay. We'll leave the kind of what night that's on until later, right? Because we'll kind of see what we have. Okay. Tremendous. So at this point in the game, are we all like kind of out of matches that we're truly confident on? We'll get into kind of the more debate discussion part of this. What do you reckon?
Those three.
Yeah. I'm
mostly confident on Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah.
I'd lean more toward Joe's opinion that it's going to be a multi-ladder match with LA Knight winning the U.S. title, but I definitely think LA Knight and Logan Paul will be in the same match for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bob, any matches you're confident of, or should we transition to a different part of the program?
I'm pretty confident on Rey and Santos. I kind of thought Rey would be back in the Rumble, but if he's back in the next couple of weeks, I think you can pencil that one in. But I mean, we don't need to quite yet. I don't think Rey's missing the Mania card, and that's kind of a built-in match for him right there.
I don't know. I think everything you just said is true, but I just don't know if that's going to be a singles match at WrestleMania. They might be in that ladder match we're talking about.
Yeah, no, they could be. That's the other thing.
How's the Escobar push going? When I check in, it's very up and down, I find. How is it going?
It went fine at first. I think it's just kind of like leveled off to like.
It has.
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't help that Carlito's his main foil right now,
That's brutal. Yeah. Dude. Why are they doing that?
And the problem, it also seems the problem to me is, again, kind of like Joe, like I don't watch like every week. I tune in when I can, but it seems like they're having a problem establishing like what Legato really is right now. Like you just introduced Elektra too.
Mm-hmm.
Like what does she add to it? Like you're still filling this out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like maybe like if this is it, if this is the core four, then okay, now you have to start running with them a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems like they were still in the process of building this.
Yeah, I agree. And the big thing with Santos is like, I think he's a good talent. I like him. I'm not in love with his work. And I think that's an issue for him in WWE because that should really be the attribute that makes him stand out, right? Like that's really when you're an underneath guy, which he is, and that's fine. It would be really nice if his matches were like blow away, and he kind of made himself undeniable. Instead, they're decent, and it's like it was noticeable with the Dragon Lee series, the little couple matches they had. It was like they're okay matches, but for what they're trying to achieve with him, really, that I don't know if that's going to be enough considering kind of where he's at on the card and who's above him. You know, like so. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's a fair call from Bob. I think it's one we'll circle back to when we see how many matches we
You
have.
got that one promo where he said he hoped Ray gets like MRSA and dies or something.
Yeah, that was beast. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the big topic, and then we'll kind of work backwards. Seth freaking Rollins. This is a conundrum because Seth freaking Rollins has an injured knee, and he is opting against surgery for now, and he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania because he wants to finally main event WrestleMania.
See, I think Joe and I talked about this a few days ago via text, and I think Seth probably will main event.
He kind of has to, doesn't he, really? Sort of.
Yeah.
Now, that's important because that changes the conversation we're about to have about what you do with Seth, because one of the pitches for Seth is you make a statement and you have Gunther kill him. He's injured already.
That's
right.
I was going to say you have Gunther power bomb him until he's fucking crippled and pin him.
The issue is, can you do that in the main event?
Listen. Here's the thing: the night one main event, maybe you can. If you're telling people, okay, well, come back tomorrow, like you just saw a murder, we get like you could do a 2014 Brock Cena thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah.
And as long as you're still giving the fans of, well, you still have a whole other night. Like we understand this happened,
and the other night has to end with the story finish.
Yeah, because that's the thing, and this is not a slight to Seth,
right?
But given the way you've built up Gunther and given Seth's injury, the match does make sense of him just going in there and murdering him and taking that title and just going, well, that was easy.
It does. In an ideal world, I would do that exact thing on the undercard of night one with one of the women's matches we mentioned as the main event. There are issues, though, with this pitch. Number one, Gunther can't work the chamber show.
No, he can't.
So what? How that affects things?
He can't leave the country.
So that complicates things, and plus the main event part of it. It's like I've settled on, and this is, we all agree Gunther needs to get that belt eventually. So this is more delaying where we're going to. I now am at a point where I've settled on Drew, Sami, Seth, close night one with a Sami Zayn title win.
Look at Plethra's prediction. Yep. That's horrifying. That's a horrifying possibility.
Seth, Sami, and Drew, and have Priest cash in on Seth. It screws Drew and Sami at the top. Priest is absolutely in this picture, whether people want him there or not. Yeah. He's in it, right? Like by default.
Oh, yeah. So. This might sound crazy. I would be on board with a Sami title win if Seth was 100%.
Yeah, like, I would have him beating Drew.
I would want the best of both guys. And you're not going to get that with Seth. And the thing with that is, too, that was fine with Punk. Because the way you'd have to work that match, it's okay if Seth couldn't go 100 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fine. But if you wanted to do a Sami title win over Seth, I would rather Seth be at 100% full go.
That's where you need to do the Drew triple threat.
That's where I would,
And so, look, let me be clear. I don't love the match by any means.
Yeah.
But I do think Drew and Sami have earned it. Actually. I think it would be good. It would protect Seth with his injury. And I think everyone would love to see Sami as champ. And best of all, if you want to go after Gunther a kill in a couple months, Sami Zayn is your man.
And I'll say this, credit to the booking, credit to the overall broad stroke booking the last year. I think a Seth, Drew, and Sami main event would be very over in the building.
And it would make sense.
Yeah.
Because months ago when Kevin got moved to SmackDown, what did Sami had that promo? I am a world title level wrestler. Drew's been vying for that belt for months. it isn't quite as enticing as Gunther, but I think this is the play, Oracle. What do you reckon?
It feels like the triple threat is the. I think Drew solidified his spot when they did the Punk angle last night.
Yeah.
I think he solidified his spot in the match. To be honest,
Mhm.
I like the Gunther idea more.
Yeah,
but I think this is the more likely idea is probably this triple threat. And I do like the idea of Sammy having that kind of Mick Foley-esque moment where he finally wins the big one, and then Gunther just like decimates him.
Yeah. It also continues a great tradition of the work rate guy winning a triple threat every 10 years. I'm not going to mention the specific one that kicked that tradition off, but that make it 3 straight.
Yeah.
And it would be kind of crazy though. Like seriously, that would be kind of weird. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at, Bobby. Where do you stand on this matter?
Yeah, I think I'm sold on him being a triple threat at this point as well. The problem with Gunther as a double champ is he either has to be pinned and then lose the Intercontinental title, which you don't want to have happen, or he's just going to vacate it, which I don't think is a great way to end a 600-day reign or whatever. So it's like, I think the triple threat's the way to go. I'm fine with Sammy winning. I don't know, Seth. Is he going to get surgery after WrestleMania, do you think? Or is he going to
supposedly
be better by then? Yeah.
It seems he's going to get surgery after.
So, yeah. So one of the other two. I mean, Sammy would be great, obviously. Yeah, I'm fine with triple threat.
Yeah, this is a good point too, in terms of waiting for that Gunther situation. You know, when is he able to leave the country? Because Backlash is.
When is that Berlin show?
Late August.
He's available for that. He's available for that. So
yeah,
that's the one you build around him as champ, right?
Well, is he from Austria originally?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But to have a WWE champ from Austria and Berlin would be like crazy in its own. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still crazy. It's still it would still be I think if you promotion wise, that would be what they would build it around. And for a longest time, any champ outside the States was a big deal.
They're saying they think you can leave after Mania. There's like a
okay. I know he's available for the Berlin show. I don't know when it's okay. So either way, Jack, are you going to give us your permission to proceed with the triple threat plan?
Yeah, I can see the triple threat. Okay, because I understand the issues with because I think Gunther murdering him should happen, but I understand the reasons it can't.
Yeah, and again, Gunther and Sammy. Let's be real. That's a potential classic for that belt. That match could be.
Yeah,
that match could be special.
I think that should honestly, like, I think. Let me, this is a fantasy booking show, anyways. But let me fantasy book ahead a little bit. I think they could have a really fun 4-month reign with Sammy, especially with Seth being out, right? If he gets surgery for a couple months, Punk won't be back, so you're gonna need, Sammy having some. Sometimes with the, I can see the book. He might not have, hopefully he would have good challengers, but Sammy, kind of having the belt for spring and summer, and then building to that Berlin show, where he puts Gunther over would be pretty fun summer, I think.
And Sammy's very good at babyface matches too, so you could have him work with guys like a Gable, like babyfaces, and have him do TV matches like that. So you'd be given some variety there. So with that, I think it only makes sense we transition to, if we're going to do the triple threat, we can actually have someone beat Gunther, right, for the IC strap. I think that makes sense.
Chad Gable.
Here's the thing. This is where I'm at. But what's been very interesting, Jack, is have you noticed how that's kind of like, that was at one point the go-to prediction is like slowly faded into the background. Like it's kind of been weird. Like, what's the deal with Gable? He wasn't in the Rumble.
But bring it back, because especially after that last match, that promo he cut backstage after Robert, like, for my kids, I'm gonna beat him. Like come on. Like, I don't know what happened with it, but bring it back now.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the one that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Because he was the one the closest to beating, because he won that much by count out, and he was the closest. He was close to one of anybody. Other than maybe Sheamus.
Yeah. Honestly, he was the closest. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So Bron Breakker has to be
I think he's gonna go to SmackDown, right? because they did that segment on Raw where Adam
true.
Pearce signed Andrade, and then Nick Aldis showed up, and he said,
you know what? Another interesting thing about Gunther is, though, I noticed the other day, and it was something that was talked about last year after it happened the first time. So Cody Rhodes has eliminated him from the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I don't think that's an accident.
Yeah, I would agree. That's going to be a big one.
It hit me the second, like when I didn't even catch it on Saturday. Really, I saw him, like all the chaos and shit like that. It was one of the replays. I said it dawned on me. I went, wait, Cody eliminated him 2 years in a row. So then I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know what their plans are for a draft or something. Maybe Gunther doesn't win that world heavyweight title. Maybe he's the guy who eventually beats Cody.
I think it's one where they know eventually, after Gunther's had the reign we're talking about, I think they know that will be like almost the way we're talking about Rhea and Bianca, of like they'll eventually cross paths, you know? I think
It's just a cool dynamic where Gunther has this dominance over everyone he comes across. But then Cody's the guy, at least for, I know it's just the Royal Rumble, but Cody's a guy he could point to and go, but you son of a bitch.
Right.
Like you're a thorn in my ass for some reason.
Yeah, this definitely they definitely feel like the sort of Triple H era booked like Austin Rock. Same thing, same thing the way, Rhea and Bianca feel from the last 3 or 4 years in the women, and we're like
and like you talk about a feud like that, Oracle, and what I like about it is that it like I just said, it's a 2-year span of elimination from the Rumbles. But other than that, they're kept apart. They're away from each other. They don't interact with one another. So that when they eventually do, and all this shit gets to be brought back to light, I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I actually think that's a credit to the booking. Like, they've done a really good job keeping people separate. I think it is to the detriment of the TV sometimes when you have 7 hours of content you have to fill. Yeah. You see Cody and Friends versus Judgment Day. And I like all those matches over the last year, but like you see Cody and Friends versus Judgment Day literally every week for 6 months straight. But it allowed them, like with the Gunther promo the week before the Rumble, when he confronted Seth, he was like, "We've been kept apart." It's stuff like that, right? Like you save that in the chamber, and I do appreciate that sort of philosophy of book.
Yeah, I agree. His name's come up a couple times for Gunther.
Not for kill, but I don't know.
I'm not sure he's the guy to beat him.
I mean, Andy rules, but I don't know if
Andy will always pop me without foul. Okay, so I hate to do the.
This man said I had to leave WWE to find myself.
Beast.
What the fuck?
Dude, I was very mad when Bronson Reed threw him out the Rumble.
So mad.
I was watching the Rumble with my family, and I was just playing it cool, like acting like a normal person. And Bronson Reed threw Andrade out of that Rumble. I nearly walked out the fucking room. I was so mad about it.
Bob Oracle, you guys watch the WWF a lot more regularly than Joe and I do. Sure. I need you guys to explain something to Joe and I that we were talking about last night. Okay, just explain this to me. Now, I see it every week that Bronson Reed's presentation is so cool. Okay, big guy, Godzilla, Yet every time
looks like a fucking Stegosaurus Rex, man.
He loses.
He does lose a lot.
So how can you give that guy that kind of presentation, yet every time I look on Twitter or I watch Raw, like last night, he loses?
Yeah, he lost to Jey Uso.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
He's not very good.
He sucks.
Yeah, but he beat Okada.
He did. True. And every time Okada's in the news, he posts a picture about it. So
no, seriously, like Joe, it's funny because Joe and I were talking about that last night because we watched the video of his entrance. It's like this dude gets his presentation, but every time I see something about him, he loses.
I also loved when he came out in the Rumble. They had like the camera angle of like following him as he walked in the ring from like the back. He even got like a special Rumble entrance, mid-match.
He did.
I don't get it.
I know. I've never got it, but so here's the thing. I don't want to go full bootlicker. I love Andrade. it feels like that's a little soon for him to be rewarded.
Yeah,
You
oh
know?
yeah.
Being given
Yeah.
that reign after being Andrade for as long as he's been Andrade would be, I think, let him work up towards that. I think Chad
Like-
Gable has waited his turn.
I forgot about that Bronson Ivar match a couple months back. Remember that one?
Don't remind me about it. Don't remember that whole show, bro. That was scarring. That was
No,
bad.
you can't reward on Andrade. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like, this is the
He's a beast, but you can't give it to him right away.
No.
Man. It's ridiculous.
You can't let him do something like that.
Yeah.
The only guys who can get away with that are guys that like really draw a lot of money. You have to let Andrade, find his way.
Like
again,
when people are like, you can't give CM Punk one of the main events, right? It's like, yes, you can. Yeah, you
Punk,
can.
yeah.
He's CM Punk. Yes, you can. Like, it doesn't it doesn't fucking matter what he said about. Yes, you can. He's CM Punk. Andrade, like Joe, as much as I love him too, but no, he's
awesome. Like, I'm a bigger Andrade fan than a Chad Gable fan. I love both, but I just feel like Chad's earned that moment. It's his moment. I think.
They
So are we
can
all
salvage the Chad thing? He has fallen too far since the feud ended. At the end of September. I don't know why but they have time. They have time.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
They need to
And they can
capitalize
tell that
on it
story
very quickly, but they have time.
They can tell that story for sure.
I'm trying to think of other options for Gunther. I don't know. I mean,
the Braun Breaker thing that was brought
I like
up.
it.
Listen, you could. I didn't think when I watched Saturday, I didn't think he was going to get the kind of reception that he did on the main roster.
Yeah, he's big time.
He did. Then he got in the ring, and I was like, okay, now, well, hold on a second.
He's money, bro.
That was where, like, I had been worried about maybe his size, but when he got in that ring Saturday, something clicked, and it was like, okay, now, he really is
98-99 Bill Goldberg.
No,
he did.
I told Bob that I think earlier today. You have got to go 98 Goldberg with him. Like, he gets on that main roster, the 20 of his first matches shouldn't even be fucking close. They should just be
doing random shit where he's doing like back suplexes and the RKOs and shit that are like.
I get like that was the first time in a long time on Saturday. I was pleasantly surprised by a debut. Like, he nailed it.
Because it's usually the opposite these days, right?
Like that he hit Ivar with the spring. I literally yelled, "Oh my fucking god!"
He's gonna have those. He really is the first guy that I think you can replicate the Goldberg push.
Yeah,
with him, you can do it.
We should actually circle back to saying there could be an issue. We went with a triple threat for Seth, but the issue, what the fuck do we do with the chamber?
Oh shit.
We do like a double pin or something? What the fuck do we do?
Shit.
Yeah.
Do we have Sammy get a visual pin on Drew and then Pierce throws him in the match, like something like that?
Oh, fuck me. Wow.
You could, to be fair, last night Drew did like rob Sammy. So you could do a thing where he does similar and Pierce is like, fuck this, he earned his way. You could do that, If Sammy beats Drew tonight, he's added to the WrestleMania match, one of those kind of deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
It's not ideal, but none of this is ideal, right? We're trying to pick up the pieces.
Here's the thing. We're trying to pick up these pieces because CM Punk has pieces of his fucking tricep rolling around in his arm right now.
True. Very, incredibly put, Jack.
Once again, last night, like people run. Did you guys see anybody running that angle? Like how Punk could let Drew stomp on his arm like that?
Oh, like conspiracy.
Like people don't understand how fucking torn. It was like when Cody tore his titty. They were like, how could he work this match? It's like, because there's nothing worse that can happen.
Yeah, also that's the most CM Punk thing you could ever do. And
like when you tear something,
I'm pretty sure I already tore it off the bone. Like
when you tear something off the bone, like Cody's chest or the tricep, you can't injure it any further. Like Drew could have stomped on that for 10 more minutes and nothing's going to happen. It's dead.
Yeah. It's also not real, and it's like people seem to think Drew like fucking punted it. You know, it's like
Well, yeah, but like Drew just doing a good old fashioned pro wrestling stomp on it was nothing.
Okay, so we can get around the chamber thing. That's fine. So, Gable and Gunther is our official Gunther match. Are we all co-signing? We're all in?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yes.
I gotta let the dog out really quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bobby, which big star do you think we should? If you're still here, I can't see if Bobby's frozen. Look at Bob, bless him. I don't think he's still here. Okay. Well, you get what you get, I suppose.
He's got like that mad face because he realized he was fucking up. So he's
Here it is. Here it is. Bobby.
the fan. We knew because the fan came along.
There we go. What's up?
Bob, which big star should we look into next? Their WrestleMania destination, mate. Anyone in particular?
Randy Orton.
Good answer. He ain't going to be in no ladder match. I tell you that much for confidence.
No.
He don't fall down anymore, brother. He ain't going to be in there with ladders. There's no way. So, okay, this is going to be a difficult conversation, especially for as gentlemen that love them some Randy Orton. It's he's definitely at a different point in his career. I think we can safely say after a couple months here that he's going to be more smoke and mirrors than we previously had seen.
Oh yeah.
My eyebrows were raised when he went 5 minutes of Solo Sikoa. I was kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
They are not, because whatever you think of Solo, that match going so short is like, it kind of tells you where they think Randy's at in terms of physically what he can do, right? They went 5 minutes, bro. Like,
but he went 20 with Jimmy Uso, or the hell.
True, and that match was worked as though they had enough ideas for 3 minutes. So I don't know what the best way kind of around that is. I don't know what because Solo is like, that would not be a very compelling WrestleMania match.
No. That'd be bad.
Who's that?
It would be very similar to that Randy Orton Kane match the year Dwayne and Cena, or that random Batista Umaga match, because I thought they had to do something with him. So just at 24.
Yeah, they did like the brand. What did they call it? Like brand
supremacy singles match or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jack, we're struggling with Randy, and we I like people saying Braun in the chat, and like I love that, but like I don't know if you can put him in with Braun.
I mean, like, could you imagine Braun like folding Randy Orton in half with a spear?
Exactly. Like, I don't know.
Like, fuck this, dude.
I don't think you can book that match. I don't know. I have no idea what you do with
Randy.
Like,
that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Shit.
He's so over too.
Yeah.
And as a character,
they might just do
as a character. Like,
oh, he's incredible. Yeah, funnier than ever.
They might just do the solo match.
Maybe.
Oh, jeez. That match. I mean, I get it was a TV match, but still, that match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago was.
I think
Solo has been actively stalled by how much they produce him. He's now like less complete work than he was when he came up. They've produced him to such a degree that every step he takes, he looks like he's thinking about it. Like he's got no. It's been great for his bank account, I'm sure. This role has been awesome for him. But Jesus, like a young wrestler needs to be wrestling at some point. They can't be, pulling faces.
The only thing that makes sense about I guess you could run. Like part of the angle is that Heyman or whatever could say, well, look how fast he ended your buddy John Cena. You're next.
Maybe
the new legend killer.
Yeah. Maybe John Cena's around. Maybe we can get a tag of some kind. Imagine that. That'd be a cool deal, wouldn't it? Imagine if we could get Cena and Randy on the same team. That'd actually be like genuinely cool. Like
that would be cool. That'd be
it would
really
protect
cool.
Both of them. They're like the two top guys of a generation.
I just thought of no, Cena won't work Theory 2 years in a row.
I knew that was where you're going, Fury and Waller.
Yeah.
Who could? This is interesting.
Yeah,
because we have a link with Paulie and Bron Breakker, right?
Sure.
Paulie bringing Bron in for this match, Bron and Solo versus John and Randy. I actually think is like
that would work.
A legitimately good idea.
You do have the connection with Paul and Bron.
And in a tag match, you could
Mhm.
contain Bron's excitement a lot more,
His violence, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know, even I don't. Ooh, you know what? Because you know what caught me off guard, and maybe it was done on purpose, maybe it wasn't. But like sometimes, like little things. When Paul did that appearance for NXT,
Mm-hmm.
and he managed Braun in that match, that main event or whatever it was, when he introduced Braun, he said something like, "My tribal chief presents to you," or like on behalf of our tribal chief.
Right.
Like not like Paul. It was like Roman is tied with Braun in some way. Paul didn't say like I present to you, or he said my tribal chief Roman Reigns presents to you Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, huh.
Yeah.
Like that was interesting. Maybe on purpose, maybe a slip up, maybe just something
Especially,
Paul winged on the fly.
Now that we know he's going to SmackDown, especially, it's interesting, right? It's also
that is it, because like is that set like does Roman Reigns now, who is what are we 2013 for 10 11 years into this with him, does he look at Braun and go, okay, now my job is to put him over? Like that's the guy they see as
the natural thing for Roman after Mania is a babyface turn in which Paul Lee basically decides he needs a new guy.
Yeah.
Solo's not that guy. Bron Breakker could be that guy, like Paul Lee getting Bron to kill off Roman and saying it's over, new era, like that'd be good.
The people love Roman. Like listen, let me tell you people right now, and this is going to be a moment that is going to mirror, and I'm telling you it's going to happen. Not on the internet, but in the arena. Roman's going to lose that title to Cody, but say you see Roman, people are going to chant thank you, Roman.
Yeah, I agree.
After that reign ends, people are going to show him respect and thank, and you're going to get the thank you Roman chant.
Yeah,
the last
which
4
would
years.
be hilarious, but I agree what happened.
They could do a Slamboree special. Here's a match.
No, but it like
Slamboree special. Nick Aldis versus Adam Pearce.
It's just going to be like the weird thing is going to be that dynamic of like the night after the Undertaker match, the fuck you Roman to thank you Roman.
Yeah,
is going to be.
It will happen. So I agree with you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a wild card in a bloodline tag scenario that I want to throw out there. I want to quote Wrestle Purist Worldwide, which apparently is a good show with a British guy on it, very handsome, and he's co-host with Wrestle Purist.
Chat by chance?
Sometimes he broke some very interesting news that I know will pop Jack, who's not aware of this. He said that Big Rome had, made a little bit of a push internally. They finally get some movement on this Jacob Fatu thing, and I don't think it will happen because there's some complications with Jacob Fatu, as we know. We'll leave that there. However,
if
Jacob Fatu in that
the other
match,
British fella.
Jacob Fatu in that match would be pretty special,
Yeah.
No, I was talking about me. I was just,
okay. I wasn't sure if I was.
It does suck because, like, I'll tell you what, like, especially with where Roman is now, the complications which we leave there.
Yes.
If in the midst of all this you can introduce people to Jacob Fatu, and even the new people, like casual fans who don't know about him, if you could be like, okay, if you like the Usos, if you like Salt, wait till you see this motherfucker.
Yeah, and specifically, Jack, he said about
like, whoa.
Roman said about working Solo, being the babyface against Solo. Sorry, Jacob Fatu, my bad, God forbid. But can you imagine those matches? My God,
Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu with Roman the babyface and Jacob the heel. Print the fucking money.
I love it. Okay, so I think this has been a fun conversation, but I don't think any of us are confident enough in this Randy Orton pitches to write any down. So we'll just leave it there. We'll park it there.
We started talking about Jacob Fatu, so no, we are not confident.
We'll circle back on that. Tag belts.
DIY. I know. I'll be the bad guy. I will be the bad guy. It's DIY.
Okay, but what do we like? Are the Judgment Day going to lose them, and then it's going to be Finn and Priest at Mania, or are they going to? Like, what are we doing here?
That's what they should do, but like, they've kind of, if they were going to lose them, they should have lost them by now. You start building to that, right? Like, I don't know. You got time, obviously, but like, I don't know. It's strange
Awesome
because
Truth,
DIY
they're in
probably
the
should
picture.
beat them, but yeah, it might just be Awesome Truth, which I don't know. Like, I'd rather it wasn't, but
Awesome. I think Awesome Truth is the Australia match.
Yeah, I think so
okay.
too.
Listen,
Okay.
Hunter's going to give his DIY boys the WrestleMania moment. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Do you
He's
think
going
it'll
to
be?
give.
Yeah,
He's
that's
going to
fine. I
give.
hope he
He's
does.
going to give his guys a WrestleMania.
I think it's going to
moment.
be a multi-team match.
Okay, so Judgment Day, DIY, New Day.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, probably New Day, Imperium,
Here's the thing with the New Day.
Creeds.
I watched Raw last night. Is Big E okay? And I don't mean that in a negative way. Is Big E like okay?
Like,
Okay.
They're saying it
like
a lot.
we were talking about the Gunther thing before,
Yeah.
and now I'm just realizing last night, is Big E good?
I know he's training. I personally think Jey Uso is going to be the third man in that equation. I think he's working with Gunther this month, whatever month we're in now, February almost. In February, I think Jey Uso is working with Gunther.
Jay at the I guess Gunther can't travel,
Like
so
as a big TV match, you know.
yeah. They'll have a title match on TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think I've put those two things together and concluded that Jay is going to join the New Day in their fight with Imperium. That's purely a guess, to be clear, folks. I don't know.
Makes sense. That would make sense.
Yeah, and they did recently do something with Jay. He teamed with Kofi, I think. He teamed with one of the New Day. I can't remember which one was injured at the time, but
he stepped in when
right,
Kaiser attacked Kofi.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll go for now. So in terms of the tag teams, the Creeds should be in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the match was Judgment Day, DIY, New Day, and Creeds, who would be the big omission there? Who would be left out? Imperium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I don't know how to say this politely.
It's tough.
Are they a big omission though? Like
they did it last year, but the the women's match was bad, but like the men's match was good when they did like the tag team showcase. What if they did just like a tag title match and a tag team, or just like did like a 4-way? I don't know. I mean, I guess they could just combine them like we've been talking about. It's tough though. I could see a scenario where Awesome Truth beats Judgment Day, and then they do Finn and Priest at Mania as a singles match, and Awesome Truth are the champs going into Mania against 3 other teams.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the little Awesome Truth reunion. And by the way, like Miz's babyface pop last night. Good for him.
I like him. Yeah, man.
Good for him. Good for Mike. Because I think we talked about this a couple months ago, but like Miz's, that first babyface run they tried failed fucking miserably.
Yeah.
Like this, but this good for him. I was happy for him last night. I don't know if I'd put the tag titles on him though. I don't know.
No.
I'm not sure I would either, Jack. I'm just
I don't. No, I get what you're saying. I just don't.
Yeah.
Oh.
What about this? Randy and AJ form a like seriously. When WrestleMania comes around, bro, they do whatever it takes to make these things fit. Like,
yeah,
and they are linked with the 4-way thing. Like, they could absolutely do a tag team showcase as well as Judgment Day versus Randy and AJ. Like, they could definitely do that. I think.
Let me briefly interrupt since we've hit an hour. Let's pause and
an hour is insane.
Let's pause and lay out what we have on. I find myself getting a little bit like. I mean, I can follow along, but I want to be able to picture.
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. We have Chad Gable and Gunther. We have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Those two matches we have yet to lock in on a night. We're going to kind of wait to see what we look like at the end of the show. Night 1, we currently have Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Seth Rollins in a triple threat. We have Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. And on night 2, we have Bayley and Io, Cody, and Roman.
Okay.
That's what we have.
And I feel like the way that they do things, WrestleMania Friday is going to have people that are not going to be able to man the main show. They're going to be on WrestleMania Friday with the Battle Royal and stuff.
Yes, which is we have
to add that. There's going to be 1 or 2 names that are going to be maybe a little bit eyebrow raising. We just don't know.
Yeah.
I think each show could have as little as 6 matches. Neither show is going to have more than 8. So it's going to be
Agreed.
between 12 and 16 matches.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So, because that's just how Triple H has done things since he's been on top. So,
I am increasingly, as I look at the pieces in front of us here, I do not think it's a lock Solo wrestles on this show. I think it could absolutely just be a factor in the Cody match.
yeah.
That
think so.
AJ Randy pitch is like, I don't know if AJ either should be in a ladder match, but what else do you do with, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I know, again, folks, this is a huge reach, but I'm looking at the pieces in front of us, and it's like, they are tied together in a weird way on TV. AJ isn't like, he's kind of a hit, like, is he a heel? He's just kind of like AJ, right? Like, he's just kind of a dude. With
He's
trousers.
mad.
He's real mad.
Angry little man.
Because the issue is you can't do AJ versus Randy, bro. They can't have that match in 2024.
Although if
It's
I
not-
look at AJ's physique, I understand where the anger issues might be coming from. A little bit of a temper.
Yeah. It's like they can't do a singles match with each other, that is. There's nothing for AJ to do whatsoever. It's like, I just don't know. I don't know, fellas.
Yeah,
I think it's feasible. I really do.
They did 7 and 6 last year if you don't include the Pat McAfee Miz and then the Snoop Dogg Miz matches from so that kind of gives us an idea of they had 13 scheduled matches before those impromptu stuff. So
Okay, let's move on to some other ones and we'll circle back to these fellas. Right. Who else in the women's division do we need to figure out? What do we think about Bianca Belair?
I think they could really do I think they could do and this is where I'll bring up the contrarians point.
Yes.
He brought up an interesting scenario where they could do the Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca and possibly Jade in a tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the idea of that's the safest way to get Jade in terms of I thought she looked great in the Rumble, but I mean she was aged very well in that match and her presence was tremendous.
Yeah.
A Bianca Jade match very much intrigues me, but I also think that there would be a lot of concerns about how well that match would be. But I do think it's a really cool sounding match on paper at the least.
Can we write off Bianca teaming with Naomi and Jade instead working I want to be clear, folks, don't get too panicked by this, a very brief match with Nia Jax?
I don't think we can eliminate that. I think there's they they set the pieces for that. Nia's been getting a consistent TV push. She may be someone who they feel has earned a spot on the card. I think that's a possibility.
Yeah. And perhaps most importantly, it's someone Jade could beat, right? Jade could beat Nia Jax. I don't know if they want to have Jade beat Bianca Belair at WrestleMania when the whole thing is that's like her night. Whereas Bianca winning tag gold with Naomi, is it perfect? No. But I think that may be the way to go here.
And again, like you don't want to get too, but if I'd like going back to what we said earlier, it really does seem the last couple of years like they have plans for when Rhea and Bianca finally do meet each other. And I'm not sure I'd have either lady really eat a clean one-on-one pin between now and then. I really wouldn't. I would just keep both of them. I'd keep both of them off the mat.
And if you do Bianca with Jade,
Bianca was hurt this year because I'm pretty sure they were going to do the first big non-title singles match with her and Charlotte.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. And of course, obviously Charlotte's knee was decimated. So
yeah, it's like the women that are kind of on the bubble of like being on the show to me is like Nia, Liv, Naomi. I feel like there should be a spot for the name, so at least two of the names I just mentioned, but I'm not convinced there will be,
Do they still do the? I can't remember last year. Do they still do the women's battle royal?
No, last year they did the tag team showcase thing for both men and women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not
Maybe
sure.
honestly, maybe they just put Bianca and Jade in a team in the showcase.
Yeah, and your teams would
Not
be
a bad idea.
Maybe
who would
they
be
just
in
do
that
that.
match. It would be who are the champs now? Kabuki Warriors,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bianca and Jade. You could do like I don't know, like Naomi and Liv or some shit. I don't know.
Well, look at it like this. You do the tag team showcase with Bianca and Jade, and maybe they roll through that tag team showcase, and you're like, whoa, they could definitely beat Asuka and Kyrie. Maybe you slap the tag team titles on them for a little bit, Bianca and Jade.
Yeah, and it would give Jade a chance to learn. I mean, I'm not against it. Alex brought this up, right? Oracle, you said earlier in the DM, so maybe that's where we go. Now, would that be a straight up 2-on-2, or would it be a fatal 4-way situation?
You know, I would prefer the 2-on-2, but if I'm trying to like implement some like both fantasy and real, I feel like realistically it'd probably be 4 teams.
Yeah.
I feel like Shayna and Zoe would be one of them.
Probably.
Just because Zoe's someone who they definitely tried as a single star. It didn't really work, but they still value her.
Mm-hmm.
And Shayna's obviously like someone they value as a veteran. I feel like that's like Shayna's like premier Mania spot.
I was watching Raw last night, and Shayna and Zoe cut that promo or whatever they did. It still makes me so mad how they fucked up Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
I got legit upset last night. It makes me so angry.
She was so good, man.
I get so mad.
Here's the thing with Shayna. At this point, I think she's good, but I think she's probably lost at this point. But there was a window there, right? Like 4 years ago. And they just they dropped it.
Well, the whole thing is frustrating to me because Becky even begged. Like Becky was like, let me lose the title to her, please. And Vince was like, no.
Yeah. Look, all right. Let's settle the women's division thing, and then we'll proceed. All right. So, how many women's division matches were there last year? 3 or 4?
Hold on, I got the card up right here.
Okay,
4.
There was 1.
The 2 title matches,
4.
the showcase, and the damage control 6-woman tag.
All right.
They can do. I think they might end up doing 4 again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we think they're gonna? Okay, here's where I'm leaning: a tag team title match as well as a 4-way showcase. Do we think that is unfeasible? Do we think they could do? Okay, so would it be? Would we say Bianca and Jade versus Damage Control would be our tag title match?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and then our showcase would be. This shouldn't be too hard because I don't think there's a lot of teams.
Shayna and Zoe would be one of them.
Shayna and Zoe. Chelsea probably, right? And
Chelsea and
Piper.
Yeah.
What's Casey Catanzaro's name? Katana Chance.
Katana Chance and Carter would be there.
Yeah.
And then the 4th would be
Naomi and Liv or some shit, right?
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then of course that leaves Nia out, but
that's fine. She's getting a big match in Chamber, right? She's done better than she could have imagined,
I
really.
mean, somebody's gonna get people are gonna get left out.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah.
And the way Triple like if this was still Vince on top of creative, like I think there would be a lot more people fit in to like it'd be like, basically 11 match cards, but I feel like just based off of last year, this is not there are going to be people that are going to be left off. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is that's breaking news, but did you guys see this stuff with Okada?
No.
Pro Wrestling Tees was told to remove all of his merchandise in the next 12 hours.
Oh my God, we don't have to book him into this card now, do we?
That's what I was just thinking.
I was just told to remove all Okada merchandise from Pro Wrestling Tees. If there's something you wanted, you have about 12 hours.
Jack, have you got Bronson Reed's number by any chance, bro? Yeah. I got something for him at the Mania show.
Oh, I just thought of the same thing. Prinny wrote just Orton versus Okada. Could you imagine?
No bums.
The
No
headlock,
bums.
brother. Oh, that would be wonderful.
I'll be very surprised if Okada goes to WWE, but I've been surprised before, so I guess we'll
I
see.
wouldn't. I'm not 100% sold that he's definitely AEW. I'm not. I
just the deal Tony can offer him is.
I think that Nakamura as a mentor to him is a different ear, or is a different mouth in his ear.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm not 100% sold.
It does seem like a lot. It's just like the merch is listed as Okada, but it's like actually New Japan merch. So that seems based on what the chat's saying. So, because having the Jay White, but saying that the Jay White thing's complicated because Jay White thought he was going to WWE at one point too. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
folks.
yeah, but at that wasn't his fucking fault. That was Vince trying to force his way in, and they forgot to call Jay back.
Yeah, and there was the merger, and it was a mess. Okay. Are we happy with Bianca and Jay versus Damage Control and that aforementioned Fatal 4-Way?
Yeah,
I think that's pretty
like,
logical.
The
I don't love it.
It's tough because there could be a few names that are interchangeable in terms of who they put in there or not.
Yeah. Naomi and Liv obviously is like a total thrown together thing, but they do that every year anyway. So
every year.
Yeah. So that's fine. Okay. Now, we couldn't figure out anything for Randy Orton. Let's try and figure out what this US title ladder match was. Because the more we've done this, the more to me it feels likely that's going to be what they do, to be honest. Because there's some spare names here. Does Randy Orton just not take a bump in this ladder match? I mean, can we do that? Will he be okay if we ask him? I don't know. One time we put Alexa Bliss in a ladder match and Shotzi nearly killed her. I don't want to run it back.
True.
The last thing I want to see on Monday after WrestleMania is Randy Orton posting a notes app. Don't worry, folks. Everything's okay. I survived the ladder match. I don't want to see it. But I'm looking at what we got here, and I don't know what else to do with Randy Orton, you know?
Yeah, it's tough, man. Like, it's a tough one to book. I mean, that was part of the charm of the show and the appeal is, we're 10 weeks out. We're going to give it a shot.
Right, exactly. We're going to get a lot of this wrong.
Man, after that first, 5-6 matches, he starts to get,
sure
really
does.
hard to form,
Okay. Ladder match. Logan Paul, obviously. Yeah?
LA Knight.
Yeah.
LA Knight.
AJ.
I think we can actually safely say, I think Rey and Escobar will be in this match.
Okay.
And it'll be a case of their feud is intertwined within this story. I'm looking at what we got here, and I just think that's most likely. I could be wrong. What do you guys think?
Probably Kevin Owens, right?
Is he healthy, though?
What's he got?
He's
Fractured
on a broken foot,
or...
right?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. KO.
I mean, chances are if he's like 50%, he'll work it.
If we did KO, Escobar, Rey, LA Knight, Logan, that's already 5. Jesus wept.
Yeah, so...
What about Bob Lasher? Is he going to get left off again?
No, he's
Yeah.
You know what? They could put
Okay,
Bob
So anyway, about the night one main event.
They could put Lasher and Jack's buddy carrying Cross in there for 7.
Yeah, I think they're gonna.
And
It has to be a 6-man at least, right?
it'll be 7, and they're gonna have all their seconds interfere.
No, but I'm saying if he wants to do this Lashley Cross thing, it has to be a 6-man tag, right?
Nah,
If he wants to do a separate
It
thing.
would
Main
have to
event
be
night
6-man
1.
tag. It would have to be
1-on-1 main event night 1. Night 2 maybe. Sorry, Cody.
All right, we'll get to that. I'll let you play that game in a minute. But this who else would for the ladder match we have Logan, LA, Escobar, Rey, KO. Who else is like definitely going to be in that match? Definitely is dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Like who else would be there?
What about AJ?
Should we just put AJ and Randy in this and fucking wipe our hands of it and just hope it goes okay?
Yeah,
Pray.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know what else you do.
Oh, imagine Randy Orton like interacting with Logan Paul.
The issue is that Kevin and AJ we've seen and we do not want to do again.
True.
Randy and
Oh,
AJ we've
Randy.
seen and wouldn't make sense. It just doesn't. I don't know what else you do with these fellas.
Randy Wood, all these fucking guys love Logan. Because every time Logan has one of the guys on his podcast, I watch it. Randy fucking loves him.
It's just the idea of character Randy Orton. You know?
Yeah.
He rules.
Okay.
You're
7-man
right about
ladder,
that,
or are
though,
they going to
Jack.
get?
You're definitely right about that.
Are they going to get an 8th man in there? Do we reckon, or is it going to be a 7-man ladder match? What do we reckon?
Dragon Lee's a decent shot, but they've kind of moved him back down to the. I suppose they could take him back up to the main roster after he probably will put Obafemi over on Sunday. So
His SmackDown roster is fucking insane, dude.
it's a mess, dude. They I can't figure it out. I think SmackDown has a shitty roster, to be honest with you.
It's like a bunch of older guys that have been on the TV so long they've worked everyone already. It's like so weird. It doesn't really make sense.
You think they'll do a men's tag showcase too with Pretty Deadly and somebody else? Maybe Pretty Deadly, Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, and then from Raw they could do like I don't know. They could
Sheamus. Fuck.
It's tough, man.
Because this will be his swan song before he goes off to New Japan, right?
Yeah, maybe.
This will be Sheamus's WrestleMania swan song.
Right, fuck this. I'm calling an audible. Right, we're pulling Kevin out of the ladder match, and we're gonna have him work with Sheamus.
Oh, that would fucking rule.
Now, is that what they're going to do? No, but at this point...
That's where we have to let the fantasy...
Let us enjoy ourselves, you know? Mustache Mountain. Like, what? British Strong Style, whatever the fuck we're calling them now. I mean, this is just...
Mustache Mountain, I believe, is Tyler Bate and Trent Seven.
Yeah, same thing. They're all British.
How sad is it that I know that?
Yeah, you should be ashamed of yourself, bro. What a hilarious lineup we have here. This show isn't even good that we've got in front of us here. We got to call someone up for Randy Orton to wrestle, fellas. I'm going to have to get like fucking Josh Alexander on the phone or something. I got to do something.
Maybe this is where we call on the new TNA partnership.
Maybe. Or All Japan. We get Kento over.
Fucking Nakajima and Randy. Can you imagine those two sitting in a room and going, "You guys want to do this?" Nope.
No.
Oh,
fuck that, dude.
Nakajima and Randy would just be them staring at each other for 50 minutes.
Randy Orton versus Suzuki.
Yes, that would be the least bumps ever taken in a wrestling match. So if we did Kevin and Sheamus, our ladder match would be Logan, LA, Ray, Escobar, AJ, Randy. So
pretty good.
This has come up a few times. Are they going to? Do you think they just do this bit again where Omos just gets whoever's left?
I would pop.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be good.
It's funny. It wouldn't be good, but it'd be funny, which is more important.
It's true. That's more like it.
Okay, we're an hour and 20 here, folks, and we're none the wiser. Here's what we've got. Bayley, EO, Cody, Roman, Drew, Max, Seth, Sammy, and we've got Becca and Rhea. Then we've also got Chad and Gunther, Jay and Jimmy, Bianca and Jade versus Damage Control, Women's Tag Team Showcase, ladder 6-man, and I have quite aggressively tried to push Kevin Owens and Sheamus, which I think is very unlikely, to be honest, with where Sheamus is at career-wise. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay. Randy Orton versus Omos. Who says no?
I don't really say no to that.
Or do we go back to the AJ tag team where AJ is like forced into a team even though he's the lone wolf?
Oh my god, I just thought of a match. Let me think about it for a second.
Okay. There's a lot here. There's a lot of Nick Aldis talk in the chat.
Ray, the two LWO fellas, and Bad Bunny
Well,
and
hold
Carlito
on. 10-man collision.
Yeah, wait,
versus Escobar, Angel, Umberto. Oh gosh, I don't know.
AJ Styles and Randy Orton.
Boy, oh boy.
There's something
It's
to be said
tough,
for that
man.
Bad Bunny pitch.
that's
I don't know.
that's a name because I don't know what his schedule looks like, but he might be in here somewhere.
Dominic could be in that match.
Dude, that would rule.
Dominic Escobar versus Ray and Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a
that'd be
rub
good.
for Santos Escobar, by the way.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yes.
Yeah. That would be a dope match. I'd actually enjoy
Yeah,
that. I'm not
I
gonna
agree.
lie.
Dom, like, we haven't brought up Dom once, but he's like one of their best heels. Like, he should probably have a match on the
He's
show. Really.
legitimately good, dude.
Maybe Dom and Randy.
Did you see his face when R-Truth brought his name up? And then
Yeah, he's tremendous. Absolutely
Don,
tremendous.
looked at him with like no expression.
You know, I have to ask, like, what was the plan for this Dom Brock Lesnar business?
I think Brock was just going to kill him.
Is that Brock was just going to murder him?
Triple H didn't like his ideas for Brock were very limited unless he was putting over one of the guys he was pushing, you know. So like, yeah.
I think the idea was he was going to eliminate Brock, and then Brock was going to squash him in Australia.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and then Brock was going to go and put over Gunther allegedly. I don't know if I believe that, to be honest.
That's tough to
This actually might be the play. I don't know how the fuck we get there on different brands. Whether that means
would rule too. I would love that because Dom's the perfect guy for. Because he doesn't, Randy doesn't have to bump much, and like Dom's a heat magnet, so
let's do that. Let's do that for Randy. I feel bad for Randy. Let's do that. Let's put Kevin back in that ladder match and give Randy Dom. There you go, Randy. I didn't want to repeat that Shotzi business, bro. It was a very scary moment. Don't want it. All right. Who the fuck are we left off this show at this point? We got.
All right, let me pull up the roster page.
I think we've got most of them now. The ladder match now is Logan, LA, Escobar, Ray, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens. Poor AJ, dude. He's 46 years old. Fuck. This is, by the way, I don't know what anyone's, if you're watching the show, we hope you enjoyed it, but I love doing stuff like this because it gives you, this is the actual thing that's happening internally right now. This is what they do, Right. And in addition, whenever people talk about guys that should or shouldn't go places, like, look at this card. Look how hard it is to find a spot for Randy Orton. Keep that in mind when you're talking about who should jump to what promotion and when.
Yeah.
Like, there's not many spots in these places, bro. Like, it's full, So, yeah, that's ain't worth knowing. But I don't know, Jack. Is there any names that are jumping out to you, mate? I think we've.
I literally just pulled up the roster page just to see.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Dante Chen?
Oh,
what the fuck?
Is he the one I was texting you about for main event?
Yes. I think he was.
His finisher, Jack, is a double chop.
Who the fuck is Fallon Henley?
She's the one.
She's like a.
Who the fuck is Guru?
Like a girl next door from the farm type.
She's hardcore country.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Jakara Jackson? Who is Javier Burnham? Who are these people?
They're prospects, bro. They're the next.
Yeah, they're all
next
NXT.
The stars will level up.
Yeah, the stars will level up.
Who is Joe Coffey? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Although some people,
I wish I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Right, I think we have 12 matches. 3, 4.
Who's Carl Anderson?
My favorite is every week they like confront AJ. Have you noticed? Have you seen these segments, Joe? Where like
the machine gun ones,
like mean mug AJ. Like,
where is that going, by the way?
I don't know.
What they do? The AJ thing is a great example of like
they're turning him heel. It appears.
This is not a criticism of him. It's just the way wrestling works. Like his run has just reached natural conclusion, hasn't it? We're being real. Like,
that's fine. It's
he
been
would-
8 years, you know.
it's been that way for ages now, and they always trying to no one wants to reboot AJ. He just
I
would be
was
better
fine
off,
with AJ
you know.
up through the Omos team, and it was already over by the Omos team. But that was like
Yeah.
the last, like, okay, this is fine, whatever. But
Yeah,
after that, I was like, he's been done for 3 years.
And that's wrestling, right? It's like it happens. Like he had
I-
such a great run, it's kind of just petered out now.
No one expected much
Exactly.
of it.
Yeah.
His first 3 years were incredible, and then like
Yeah.
2019, it was like, eh. And then I actually thought I thought he was really good. Like that's not really because it was there were no fans, but I thought he was great in 2020 when he did the stuff where like Abyss was like his assistant or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought he was
that
awesome
ruled.
in that run, but like that was his last period where I thought he was really great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it happens. He's 46 now, right? Like it's whatever, but
And he finally had a bad injury, you know. And that at that age is always kind of like, ugh.
yeah, it's a shame.
They still have Shane McMahon on the active roster page.
No, I'm not doing it.
He's on the active roster page.
Okay,
it goes
Jack, I'll give you this.
Shayna Baszler.
I'll throw you this, okay? Are we going to put this cross trios match on? Are we actually going to do this to the people watching at home? Like, are we really going to do this to them?
I feel like that might happen in Australia, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, because the build's too deep to the Mania, right? Like, it's going to... Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, though.
All those guys are going to be in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, and they're going to, like... Bobby's going to eliminate Cross, and that'll be the blow-off.
Who is Saul Ruka? I've never... Who is that?
Oh,
Who
Saul
is
Ruka. She was the best...
Who...
She was like a hugely popular gimmick for a while, and then she blew her knee out like most.
Oh, really?
NXT because the training.
Jesus, man, it's brutal.
Heavily flawed.
Yeah.
What are we doing with Bron Breakker? Is he a babyface? A heel?
I don't know. He's babyface to me. He's popping me in the Rumble.
I honestly think this might be one of those cases, Joe, where just don't distinguish that. Let him just start blowing through anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
Anyone and everyone.
Hold on a second. Bron Breakker versus Omos is some fucking serious WrestleMania match.
Killing Omos with a spear and like Omos being like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. My actual prediction for Bron is he wins the Andre on WrestleMania Friday, to be honest.
No, you know what?
I think that's what they'll do.
Speaking of Omos, I keep seeing like when they go to WrestleMania and Royal Rumble and they do these interviews with this guy, I don't think they're using this guy correctly on TV. He's a very charismatic dude.
Yeah.
This whole I'm big man.
Very tall.
They don't have to do that with him. He's a charisma. He's a cool dude. Like they should just start letting him talk.
That would be fucking awesome.
He showed that a little bit in the AJ tag team, his charisma, I thought.
He did. Like he does these interviews with people, and I'm like, he's a really cool dude. Just let him fucking talk.
Is he even on TV at the moment?
No, the Rumble is the first time he's around.
Yeah,
he does house shows and the Rumble.
The real tragedy of that isn't even Omos, is there's no MVP on the shows. That's fucking insane, dude. Like, get him on a TV show. He's a really good talker.
Yeah, MVP was like a massive highlight of the especially the PC era right before they went to the Thunderdome. He was great in the Thunderdome because that's when they formed their Hurt business too. But
let's be real, bro. Like, there is no reason to have Bobby Lashley do anything with that MVP in his corner at this point. Like, he makes Lashley so much better.
Yeah,
right.
Just put them together, man. Yeah, but yeah, Omos very tall. Now, let's start. Chat. Is there any names that we didn't bring up that we haven't talked about in a match, or because we can start positioning and play? We haven't talked about the Miz, but the Miz could be in the Battle Royal.
The Miz can do whatever. He'll be on Mania. He can do like an ad spot. I mean, it's the Miz. He's not a complainer too. Like he'll if he has to do an ad spot or whatever on Mania, he won't care. Like he can be in the Battle Royal. It's fine.
I genuinely think Sheamus is leaving, so I actually think he may not be on WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
I still kind of think The Rock might help Cody win the title.
Oh, I think he's going to.
Great.
I think
looking at the goosebumps on his arm and shit. Well,
Yeah, I think Solo's gonna try the bullshit again, but this time, no, Joe, like this.
Yeah,
He rubs them.
and he calls the camera over like he's.
Like, come here, watch me rub my goosebumps.
I agree, and I think this is where Solo comes in. I think he takes out Solo.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what will happen. Yeah, and I
He's
actually
gonna
could
take
see
out
them
Solo,
doing.
and
Can't
that-
wait, 'cause, like Solo will be out there attacking it, and he did it again. You know, Michael Colby screaming on commentary. All of a sudden, the Rock's music will hit, and then they'll pan to Heyman. You know, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it will be. And I think they may, on the road to Roman Rock, do like a, you know, how he did the Truth tag, the Awesome Truth, ironically, that tag. I could see Rock doing something
Yeah.
similar with, like, you know, Jimmy and Solo and whatever the fuck. Because, look, Rock is insane, but, like, I think even he knows, like, you know, probably
Oh, yeah.
best to get a match under his belt before doing, doing that match. But,
yeah.
okay. Let's try and, with what we've got, God forbid, let's try and put together a fucking wrestling card here. If I don't, best we can. All right. Chad Gable and Gunther. Which show do we think most needs that guaranteed in-ring thrill? Like, do we put that on the Cody Roman show or the Seth Freakin show? What do we think, fellas?
The Cody Roman show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, because Big Rome has been
You're
a little
never
lackadaisical.
like last year's match was incredible. Like, not enough people talk about how great Cody
Well, that
and
match
Roman
was
was.
one of the great matches ever in the
Yeah,
history of
last
the company, I thought.
You're
Yeah,
not
it's great.
guaranteed to have lightning strike twice.
Yeah, especially with Roman's sort of recent rhythm. So, okay, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, I would probably separate from Roman. So I would pitch that as the night one opener. Your thoughts? And my personal pitch.
That's
I agree.
probably the right idea.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Wonderful. This is going swimmingly thus far. Now, the tag belt situation, we've got a four-way for the men's belts, correct? That's what I've got wrote down here.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Got multiple four ways.
Yeah, the men's one is for the belts though. So
We should probably switch that match around and like put in a SmackDown team, at least one, like Pretty Deadly or maybe British Strong Style or something.
I also feel like there's maybe an argument that Judgment Day should have like a straight up tag for the belts, and then there's a showcase alongside that. You know,
Yeah.
I just don't know who with.
That might be better.
Who would it be against though? If we think Awesome Truth's the Australia match, what do we think? Like, who's the natural WrestleMania match?
For the tag belts?
Yeah,
DIY.
they did that last night though. I
I
don't know.
think that's part. I think that's part of the story.
Street Profits more
The
from the
story.
chat.
I'm telling you, the Hunter's gonna put. I'm telling you.
It honestly should really be the Street Profits.
He
who
is
have been
dying to recreate the Johnny Tommaso thing on the main roster. Dying.
I'm fine with this. You can have this if you want. Is everyone okay with Jack getting his way? You're not getting crossing the card though, Jack. This is gonna be your one hill or die on. All right? I'm restricting you. All right, here's what we're gonna do, folks. We're gonna do Judgment Day DIY because Jack asked us politely, and then we'll put Profits in the showcase. We've got one other team spare, which can be British Strong Style. You can see the excitement in my eyes there as well. All right, here we go.
Butters and then
And New Day. So
yep.
let's split. We can split this pretty directly. We have a tag title match on one show, and whatever division gets that, they have the showcase on the other, obviously, right? So we'll do fucking, I don't know. What's the stronger tag title match? I guess the Damage Control one has to be, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, any preference on where we put this, or does anyone care? We just put whichever of one they get, they'll get the other. They'll get the showcase of the other. So I don't think there's any real, because Jade is such a big deal to them. We'll put her on night 2. Okay. Which means tonight 1 goes the match that is Shayna and Zoe, Chelsea and Piper, Katana and Carter, Naomi and Liv, which is yeah, that'll be interesting, folks. We'll see how that goes. All right, ladder match should go on the opposite show as the men's tag showcase. So that also goes on night one. I'm going to read these cards down in a minute, folks, and you're going to be in awe of the massacre that we have produced, because I'm looking at it now, and it's quite the effort, I must say.
Would you say
We're
you hope
leaving
we're
room
right or you
here.
hope we're wrong?
I think I'm hoping they have some better ideas for some of these fellas, to be frank. But poor Andrade didn't even make the card after we were, Andy, as you put it. All right, here's what we got. Lock in, everyone. It's time for the official WrestleMania rundown here. I would do like a Todd Pettengill voice or something, but you get what you get, I suppose. All right, here we go. On night one, we have Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso, DIY versus Judgment Day, the aforementioned Women's Tag Team Showcase, the six-man United States title ladder match, Logan Paul, LA Knight, Escobar Ray, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens. We have Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley. We have Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, and Seth freaking Rollins. On night two, we have Randy Orton and Dominic Mysterio, which is outright fan service, we're being real. Street Profits versus British Strong Style versus New Day versus Creeds.
That sounds beast. That could be like as good as that.
That match would probably be really good, yeah. Bianca and Jade versus Damage Control. Chad Gable versus Gunther. Bayley versus EO. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. Yeah. What do you reckon, boys? How'd you think we did? An exhale from the panel.
I hope they do.
Mania, but
yeah.
Go ahead, Bobby. Sorry.
I mean,
it's tough.
This is the first WrestleMania in a while, probably since. All right. Well, yeah. You can't. It's because 10 years. Probably in 10 years, where it's like you're not thinking about the rest of the card. Like is Cody gonna do it? Like this WrestleMania is centered around one. No pun intended. Story. Yeah. Is Cody gonna do it?
Yep.
It was the same thing with Brian. Like that's why like even the Undertaker streak means like you don't give a shit. Like the ladder match.
The ladder match we booked is a lock to be entertaining. I don't know if it's something I'd like, but it will absolutely be entertaining, right?
No, not saying these matches aren't going to be entertaining.
No, I'm just
like this is.
No, I agree. I'm just trying to recap what we got. So that I'm confident in. The top two title matches will be good. The big X factor on night one is the Uso match and the Crosby DIY match that we allowed. If those two could both be really good.
Yeah, I mean,
one of them could be less good and the other could struggle to go over in a stadium, right? That's the issue there. Night two, the tag team showcase would be tremendous.
Yeah.
Randy and Dominic is just Randy hitting his moves, which is always fun. Bianca and Jade, I think is a good Mania match. Gable and Gunther will be great. Bayley and EO should be good. And Cody and Roman, I think those shows will be very good. I don't know necessarily.
I mean, you're not going to. Last year's Mania was so good. I think the key is I'm not so much worried about. I'm more so worried about the outcomes.
Yeah.
Cody should probably win. But I do think the only way he's I sense The Rock is involving himself, and I think there will be plenty of people who will be annoyed with that. And I think we should probably take it and because I don't think there's any way Cody Rhodes is hitting 3 crossroads pretty clean as a whistle
No.
on Roman. Roman is as some other people from Florida over the years have taught him.
Brother.
He's got some Terry in him. It seems.
The great ones often do, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
shout out to the big man. All right. I think we're content to complete our booking session there. I would say we achieved a
so.
lot, but I'm not convinced that's true. But we tried, and you can't do anything more than try, right? That's all you can do.
Let me interrupt quickly and say that Plethora is not wrong. Roman Reigns very well could win. I think that is I have expectations that he might, even though I honestly do.
I think that would be the most insane thing ever, right? Surely. I mean, I don't care. Like, I have no investment, but it just surely not, right? If he was wrestling The Rock, he would be winning that match. But if you're gonna do the Cody thing, you kind of have to have him win, don't you? I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be funny though, I guess. So, okay. This is the end of the end of the roadblock, end of the line. We've reached it, and I think we're all better for the experience. I hope the folks in Stamford are watching this and have figured out what not to do. We avoided that Karrion Cross match, even though Jack came very close to getting it on the board. Did a good job there, mate. So, that puts a bow on this, folks. We hope you've enjoyed it. Bobby, do you have any final words? Anything you'd like to add on our WrestleMania plans?
No, I don't think so. I think this was very productive. I'm interested in seeing how many of these we get right. Hopefully not as many as you'd think, but it was a good time. Had a lot of fun. Nice to be back.
Hopefully very few, right? Hopefully. I will say, though, I do find these things to be interesting because now I am actually fascinated by what Randy does, legitimately.
Yeah.
Because he may be saying completely obvious,
Yeah, I didn't even think of him.
He's so over right now, too, man.
He is, too, yeah. So, you have to get him on there somewhere, but, where?
The natural match would be, him working with AJ, but that isn't a match anyone wants to see or needs to see, so it's just, it's brutal. I've got the card noted, so we'll circle back to this. We absolutely will. All right. Oracle, any final words?
I mean, this does make me more, interested. I guess breaking this thing down to pay, just try to, keep up with what they do the next 10 weeks. I mean, the Elimination Chamber's at fork in the road. So we really won't have a lot of the answers we really struggled with until after that show.
For sure, yeah.
But and that's about 3.5 weeks away. But I'm probably most interested in, other than the Randy thing, how they spread out the other women's matches outside of the two main, the two big title matches.
Because I don't think our answer will be theirs. I think they're going to do something different with that, Yeah. So that'll be interesting. There's some key talent in that division that it feels like should be on there. Naomi's one that someone asked me that a month ago when it was rumored she was coming back, and it's I kind of hate this timing for a return. Because unless you have an actual Mania destination, you just get immediately slotted like we did on this, where we put her in a tag. It was she's in the exact same place she was when she left, And I do not like that. But it's very hard to see.
A better wrestler, right? Since she left.
Yeah.
And Bob, you and I had a conversation. It's that this time around, Naomi should be booked as a big fucking deal.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of wish the timing was that she came back after Mania when it was a fresh, when it was just a blank canvas, fresh start, new creative. I think that would be. Dakota Kai is a good. This is actually. I'm going to say the best for last with this pitch. Dakota is very close to being cleared. Jade, Bianca, and Naomi versus Damage Control. That's a good call. Man.
I saw somebody point out that Dakota had the knee brace off last night.
Yeah.
That's the first time in a while she hasn't had it on.
Close.
Who could Liv team with if we put Naomi in that match? Does Liv have any friends? Does she have a...
What's Sonya doing? Is she how?
I don't know.
Yeah, she tore ACL, but it was a while ago, right?
Because then Liv would be the
Well,
person left out, right?
I guess if Raquel's ready, Liv and Raquel have the tag team.
Right, we're changing it. Trev, we're changing it. Right. I nearly broke my mic. Right. We've changed it, folks. We've changed the card. Everyone lock in again. Bianca, Jade, and Naomi, Shad, Trev, and we're going to do Liv and Raquel, that great tag team that we all remember very fondly. They're back. All right. We did it, fellas. Beautiful. Jack, any final words, especially after that triumphant change that we just made there? Anything you'd like to add, mate?
No, I think we put together a pretty nice card.
Yeah, we're very good. I mean, we actually, I don't think we did it all, but I think we should pretend we did. I think when we go off the air, we should all tweet, we just fucking killed it.
I can't wait for us to come back in a couple months and revisit this, like the week of WrestleMania.
Yeah, that will be very funny.
I can't wait to come back and revisit this.
I mean, look, the thing is, it may be flattering to us or not, because last year, if you'd have predicted in January Omos versus Brock Lesnar, you'd have got fucking kicked off Twitch. They'd have banned you.
Yeah.
You never know, right? Like,
well, I remember when they first came out as a rumor, we were all like, surely not.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this is, look, folks, there's no magic fix internally. They have to just sit down and say who's Randy Orton wrestling, who's Brock, whatever, who's Gunther wrestling. It's like, that's the game.
Yeah.
So.
Now that Oracle mentions it, I remember it was either Meltzer, so they were like, yeah, they're going to do Brock Omos at WrestleMania. We're like, get the fuck out of here. No, they're not.
Yeah. Match ruled, though, so there you go.
Yeah.
All right. There we go, folks. We'll be back on this very channel this Friday, back in the old time slot. LNG 99, fellas. We're at 99. It's very scary. Big one's up next. But first, we've got some business to handle. The Fleet 50. You have one more day, folks, to get me your Fleet 50 ballots. What is the Fleet 50? Well, the Fleet 50 is your top 50 in-ring performers of AEW's 2023. Everyone is of the belief their ballot sucks. Every single person has led with that before they send the ballot. So if you're not confident, that's fine. There's so many ballots at this point that you're not going to break the game by doing it. So it's a fun exercise.
I'll definitely have one next year.
Yeah, I was going to say it'll be very different next year. But you're right. You studied the game. So I think we've already got more ballots than last year by quite a bit. And normally the last day is hilarious. So tomorrow, last day, get that in again. You just DM it to me. Your top 50 in-ring performers of AEW's 2023. The results are hilarious. So I don't think anyone's going to get any prizes for guessing who wins it. So I'll just leave that there. All right. That's coming up, folks. So that's this Friday, old time slot, 11:05 Eastern, which is 4:05 a.m. God bless the things we do for this game. It's really quite remarkable. But nonetheless, I'll be back on Thursday, I guess, for the WrestlePurious flagship program. We're reviewing a Dynamite that looks somewhat scary thus far. Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam singles matches looming.
I love how Tony Khan has figured out, hey, maybe Jeff Hardy on his own is the way to go. How about that?
Poor Matt.
What if we try that out?
Yeah, we'll see how this Moxley match goes. I guess we'll see, but yeah, that's what's ahead. But we'll see you on Friday. Support the lads wherever they may be on the socials. At King Motivator H, at Jay Crosby CBS, and at Bobby Bullets. Right. So have a great night, everyone. Keep grinning, all hail, and enjoy this outro.